Hey y'all, hey. So I'm just hopping on here really quick. I want to give some encouragement during this season, especially to anyone that may be struggling with hard feelings, hard times, mourning, or just, feeling down. It's really stood out to me that my pastor has mentioned a couple times between Thanksgiving and the end of the year is the highest time for suicides, and that's heartbreaking. But we obviously can understand why it's a time where a lot of people are getting together, and if you're lonely or you're depressed or you're dealing with some things, it could just be hard to process those feelings, and in this winter, darkest time, it's getting dark early. I think all that contributes to it. I also thought about alcohol, and so stay with me. I'm going to give you some Bible verses that I'm going to ask you right now to, if you're struggling with these times are really hard for you, depression is knocking on your door hard, I want you to bookmark these Bible verses if you don't already have them. I'm going to make a little thing at the end of the video. You can screenshot it so you can just easily go back to read them. And especially if you've ever given it in those really, really low moments, go to these verses and just read them over yourself. Even if they're not impacting you right now, or you don't understand them, or you don't know why, just do me that favor and keep them. I will read them at the end, so you have to stay to the end. So I had this moment that inspired me to go ahead and do this video while I was reading or listening to one of the audio books I'm listening to. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but Mashia Chavez. I could put it down in the notes at the bottom. But he's talking about the Holy Spirit and the power of speaking in tongues, etc. But this moment that he's making a point, he says this about alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, though we know that, right? Intoxication dulls alertness and numbs sensibilities. It is impossible for anyone under the influence to perform at peak sensibility. And why that stood out to me is I stopped drinking. I used to drink, and I used to drink hardcore. I stopped drinking because I feel like the Lord led me to that point. But one of the reasons that I kept drinking towards the end of my stint with alcohol is for that very fact, to numb, to dull my alertness, because my mind, and still now I'm better to have more peace in my mind would run and I would be so alert to things. So I literally took alcohol to do to give me some calm and some peace, so I could stop thinking about less and I could numb from the things that I was sensing and feeling around me. But I want to warn and being careful about that, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's why you have alcoholics, you have drug addicts. Not saying that you are, and if you are, there's hope. But be careful, especially during this time. If you're already aware that you're prone to depression, you're dealing with anxiety, guilt, shame, all of these things, I would almost suggest to maybe try to stay away from alcohol. If you're feeling those lowest moments, alcohol is not your friend, because I've shared it on my Facebook, and you have to dig to find the video, so I'll probably share it on here again at some point when the Lord leads. But I had a moment where I took, thank God, only ibuprofen, so it wasn't going to work. But I was so tired and burnt out and exhausted that I took a bunch of ibuprofen, and my thought was, if I wake up tomorrow, I will continue to do what I'm doing. If I don't, so be it. I had made up in my mind, and I heard voices that everyone would be much better without you. I had went down a list, your kids, this kid, that kid, your husband, everyone would be much better without you. And it's because I had down 4 or 5 margaritas for lunch. And by that 5th margarita, which I was still drinking, I started to take ibuprofen with it. And it was really this dull moment where my discernment was off. I was not discerning the voice. And at this point, I had started praying on a regular and leaning into God, but I still needed some places to be healed, and I definitely still needed some deliverance. And so I pretty much opened the gate wide open for the enemy to speak to me. And because my alertness was down, I was numb, those voices made sense to me, because I've already said it. I thought it before. Rejection had already told me that before, over and over again in my life, that at this specific day, this specific moment, even the song I listened to on the way home just contributed to me believing what I was hearing in my head. And because I was intoxicated, I couldn't decipher that these weren't my own thoughts, nor was this my desire to leave earth. But I was so tired. But the truth was that the rest was in Jesus. The restoration I was looking for was in Jesus. And if I would have been sober, maybe I would have cried out still. Maybe I would have felt bad, but maybe I would have called somebody. Maybe I would have actually wanted to hear a voice of somebody instead of deciding my own mind and letting the enemy take control of my mind, that I no longer be here. I no longer need to be here. So I'm sharing this because I want people to know that I relate. And I say I'm super humble and not pushy when it comes to letting go alcohol, because I had my walk with it. I thank God that it wasn't a strong struggle, a strong stronghold for me, but it was a stronghold. But know that I relate, and I pray that you lay it down, and I pray that you are just cautious of it in this season. So 3 Bible verses I want to point out, and I'll give them in detail in a next screenshot slide. So John 1:5, the light shines in darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. So you need to seek Jesus in your darkest moment, because nothing can overcome Jesus. There may still be a walk, a challenge, a fight that you have to do, but Jesus will pull you out of it. Romans 8:38, we get so condemned and feel so low about ourselves, but nothing. Romans 8:38, nothing, death, demons, life, worries of the day can separate us from the love of Jesus. Love of God. He loves us. And of course, John 14:6, Jesus is the way to everything. He is the truth, and he is the life. And I just want you to just sit with that and know that. But during this season, my prayers are with any heavy hearts. God bless you all, and I'm going to post those here. And I just wanted to share that little bit. I didn't want to preach to you too much. I'm not going to even pray, but know you're in my prayers. And my simple prayer is that light shines in your darkness, and you look towards it a little bit more this holiday season. Be encouraged, and email me if anybody needs to reach out to me, or DM me if you see this, or text me if you know me and you need some encouragement. I am happy to. God bless you guys. Happy holidays. And if they're not happy for you, I am definitely praying for you. Y'all be blessed.